Can the ancient magnetic field surrounding Mars be revived in any way? Yes and no. Actually, restarting Mars' magnetic field is theoretically possible under known physics, but it'd be an astronomical waste of energy. It'd be much simpler to deploy a satellite in the Mars-Sun L1 point with a large magnetic field generator powered by solar panels to shield the planet from solar wind and get the same effect. The answer is no. We can't do that in any way. That's because Mars' magnetic field is dead for at least billions years ago. You can't revive Martian core, but you can use technology to create artificial magnetic field just like you said. And other local solutions, colony or building size, but we never revive the Martian core again. Single quote closing square bracket. Follow-up question. Is there any way to engineer a robust fast replicating bacteria that eats something that is plentiful on the surface of Mars and releases oxygen or other atmospheric gases? Are we researching that at all? It seems like the least expensive way to produce an atmosphere. The only problem I see is how to turn it off when the atmosphere is finished. Random comment. A friend and I talked about methods to sterilize the Earth with no limits on technology, and what we came up with was to use the spinning iron core for energy until we rendered it stationary and cool so we could lose our magnetic field and atmosphere. The point wasn't to get the job done but to be creative. Quote closing square bracket. As I understand it, a planet needs a molten core like we have here on Earth. Mars doesn't have one as far as I know. Our moon had one at one time. Meteor impacts caused the moon's molten core to ooze out like toothpaste. The dark spots we see on the moon is from those impacts. I have a side question about magnets. How long can they stay magnetic? This is the biggest thing preventing the geoformation of Mars. The core of the Earth is liquid metal. It is believed that the core of Mars is a solid by now. There is no known process of reversing that amount of entropy. Yes. We would need to use the phasers to drill down through the mantle. Afterwards, we'd use a modified photon torpedo to inject some warp plasma into the core, causing a chain reaction that would reliquefy it to 97% of its original heat. Build a trio of pyramids that turn sunlight into electricity, channel it into the largest body of water, wait for it to build up to something like a critical mass of static on a lake, and then it evaporates rapidly into the atmosphere of the planet. Ta-da! Microwaves and such get trapped in the atmosphere and warm up the iron-laden rocks. Seems familiar, but what do I know? That's going to take a really big magnetic field, and probably a massive amount of sheer magnetic force, in order to block all of that. Though it's a really neat idea and should be considered for future use if we expand upon the idea a bit more, size specs for example.